Hello, vinyl community, music community, Jimi Hendrix community. I was doing a comparison on I know I had my final thoughts on the 50th anniversary box set, but I was doing a comparison the other day on the demos and outtakes, which comes with the 50th anniversary box set, and with the Drake Hotel uh, demos and outtakes or whatnot when he was touring. I was doing a comparison with my three CD set of the letters from Ladyland. Um, this is a three CD set. I got this back in 2014, I believe, and it's of course, it's a bootleg, and I believe I got it on eBay, and it was had to order it through Mexico or whatever. I think it came from Mexico or New Mexico or whatever. Um, but this, I was comparing it to, like I said, to the CD that they put in the box set, and how it is when we get CDs or whatnot, or we get something and we get something so far long ago that it's really not in our rotation if we heard it, and we really don't pay no attention to it because we're too busy collecting or whatnot. And this right here, I pretty much listened to. Yeah, when I first got it, I listened to it, all the way through, and I believe I listened to it a few times. If I'm just tinkering around in a room or whatnot, I put on Hendrix in the studio just to, if I'm doing something or I'm building a model, because that's my hobby. I build models, and I'll put on it and let it run through. I listened to this yesterday, and the sound quality on it is pretty good. I mean, I think when I got this at the time, I didn't have a stereo system. I hadn't built my stereo system up. I think I was still listening to some little CD player I had at the time. But, since then, I've gotten a stereo system, and like three of them, of course, and it sounded superb, and I matched the tracks with the 50th anniversary box set to here, and the only thing is the Drake Hotel thing is not as clear as it is on this. Of course, Eddie Kramer did his magic in the studio, his wizardry, and did what he does good as far as in mixing the stuff. And a lot of people said they don't like his mixes. So a lot of people say that the Alan Douglas mixes as Jimi Hendrix's early stuff in the '80s is better than what Eddie Kramer's doing now. Um, I haven't yet to really. I have to go back and listen to the Alan Douglas, records, all the stuff that he had produced after Jimmy had died and stuff, just to go back and do a listen and then listen to stuff that Eddie Kramer has been doing recently. As far as in Winterland and whatever else. But this, it sounded, this right here sounded pretty good, and like I said, the Drake, they don't have the full Drake Hotel thing on here, like I said, it's three CDs, and the first CD, I put it up there to where maybe you can focus it in. Well, that's not the first CD, this is the second CD. I just took it out of the thing because it was too hard on the CD cover itself, but you know, that's the mural inside Electric Lady Studios that we all know about. Um, this is the first CD. First CD just has the experience on it. Then that's the track listing on the back. Focuses. Let's see. Then the second CD was Hendrix and Kramer, of course, Eddie Kramer in the studio. And then the third one is him, most likely at the record plant, because that's where he did most of the recording. That in Olympia, where he did most of the recording for Electric Lady, was the record plant. Um, my comparison on this, like I said, I brought it back out, and that's the famous picture of him not liking the UK version of Electric Ladyland. I did a comparison because I wanted to see how many tracks that they had put on there and stuff. And like I said, it was just a short bit of tracks that they had and not that many tracks that they had put on the 50th anniversary. They could have gave us more. Like I said, in the when I gave my first review, I gave it a 7 because I said I didn't like the music. Now the remastered CD sounded superb. Um, this sounded good too because it's remixed, so it sounds like you're actually right there with him while he's recording the demos and outtakes at the Drake Hotel. Hendrix was really into technology too at the time. Well, he was just into technology, period. He was a science fiction buff and he was just into technology. So he had the best, what would say, Eddie Kramer said he had the best uh, recorders, cassette recorders or whatever he would keep beside his bed to do his demos. He had a reel to reel too, I believe, that he did his demos and outtakes on stuff. And he would get the best equipment because, he'd be in the hotel just strumming away and just, figuring out how a song was going to be laid out. But they could have gave us a lot more. I've even researched and went back to the Hendrickson studio to match up with what's on this. And, there's like 4 CDs. There's a lot of stuff from here from the record plant. But as far as based in with the Electric Lady concept, there's like, I believe 4 CDs on here, with him doing outtakes at the record plant while he was recording Electric Ladyland. We all know that, then of course, there's also parts on there with him when Electric Lady Studios was finished, which I can believe he got to record in there like 3 months and then he passed away, unfortunately. But there's so much material. Like I said, I was just doing a comparison, and there's a lot of material. I'm glad that they remastered this to where you can actually hear it and you're in the studio with him, but yeah, there's a lot missing. They could have put a lot more outtakes with the box set. That's just my opinion. I'm not complaining. It's just, I believe they could have just put a little bit more outtakes on there, instead of just having Dagger, the Hollywood Bowl CD and then the Blu-ray of the expanded version of classic albums, which I already have. It's just 40 more minutes of stuff that they cut out, actually, of the movie. The classic albums edition of Electric Ladyland. They just added 40 more minutes of stuff that they had actually previously cut out. So, this is good. It's good because it's remastered and you're right there with him. But they, like I said, they could have put out a little bit more, of the outtakes and demos because they have it now. Whether or not it's under licensed with Experience Hendrix or because see a lot of this stuff is Michael Jeffrey. Like this box set right here is under Michael Jeffrey estate. I got a lot of box sets under his estate. I don't know if they're still under they have the rights to all this. So I don't who's to say that Experience Hendrix couldn't put all of the outtakes on there because a lot of the stuff was Michael Jeffrey. Like I said, he had his estate has the rights to a lot of this stuff. So this is probably the only thing that Experience Hendrix could have probably put out. I'm not saying that because I don't really know. I'm just saying. But, it's a shame that they didn't put more music, more outtakes, and remastered more outtakes on the box set, that it's pretty, it's a good box set, too. It's just that, like I said, I wish that they could have put more, just instead of 3 things right here. I mean, of course, we want the remaster of the original album. We all want that. But, it could have been more. And this is a long playlist. I believe this is a double album, so it's double, double, double. So, the box set, that's why it's pretty hefty and stuff, but take what you can get, Bob. Like I said, that was just my video on the comparison because I was like I said, I was listening to it on my stereo system yesterday, and I decided to listen to Letters from Ladyland. That was the bootleg of all the outtakes and stuff, and that's pretty much everything. all the outtakes and stuff is pretty much on that 3 CD set. So if you want to get this CD set, as far as in the Letters from Ladyland, I looked it up to see if it was still. It's on eBay for like $40-something. I think there's 6 people that were watching it and stuff. But like I said, I got mine like back in 2014, which I'm glad, because I think it's a pretty cool concept. And they stay with everything. Normally with bootlegs, they tend to go off the subject of whenever you get a bootleg or whatever, and it's some crazy stuff like from maybe they may have Hendrix at Monterey or somewhere else, but they stay in the concept of Ladyland, with the back picture of him biting the cover that he didn't like, and except for this front cover, of course, it's just something that they put on there, and then the opening up of that's the French version, I believe, of Electric Ladyland, and then the mural of that being in Electric Lady Studios. And then each sleeve had something to do with Ladyland. Hendrix with Kramer, Hendrix jamming at the record plant, recording Electric Ladyland. So, all good. Wearing my shirt too. This happens to be, I have learned something today about this hat that he had gotten, well, actually not the hat that he was wearing. This, I believe it was on a Rolling Stone magazine. They did an interview, but the guy that took the picture said that band around the hat was Goldstein, Linda Goldstein. Linda Gold. I want to say I may be pronouncing her name wrong, maybe saying her name wrong. Linda Goldstein. She had the belt of this hat right here. The belt part. It was on her belt. And Hendrix liked her belt, and she gave it to him, and he just put it around his hat and made it like a hat band and stuff. But just found out that today. It was a little piece of information that was interesting. I said, oh well, it fits the hat too. So, but that was just my little short video on my comparison. I thought it was, the CD sounds excellent. The 3 CD set, as far as in Letters from Ladyland, sounds excellent. So, if you can get it, purchase it. Because you get all the other takes and outtakes. I think he does come on a few times. There's other things he does. Long watchtower. It's all what I showed on the video and stuff. If you want to freeze frame it and then look to see what the track listing is, but it sounds pretty good. So like I said, I hadn't listened to it in a while, so I had to go back and listen to it again. So, but that's my take, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you again.